By the way, a lot of people pointed out what an asshole Scott DePace was yesterday when he was arguing about the AIG controversy and the bailout and bonuses thing. He was saying that the AIG guys should get their bonuses. And he says, you know, it's funny. Scott DePace used the argument. By the way, 100 people wrote this, and I missed it yesterday. Scott DePace, while discussing the AIG bailout bonuses, Scott goes, the executives should get their bonuses because it was written for in a legal contract. And then he said that the contractually and legally agreed to terms between the car companies and unions should be dissolved. He contradicts himself.
Right.
He says, like most Republicans, he's only
like
for
unions.
the executives.
Yeah, he doesn't
he's
like
not
unions.
for the working man.
So the union contract should be thrown out and disregarded.
But these contracts should be honored.
Yeah. And also about the dog advice, I received a email from Sam Simon, who works with animals, and said I was 100% correct that you should never hit your dog. He said, as one of the nation's largest providers of free certified assistance dogs for the deaf, I must comment on your theories of dog training. Howard, you are unequivocally 100% correct. Hitting your dog accomplishes nothing. And the methods you described are the ones my trainers use for dogs that achieve the most elite level of training. Furthermore, I wonder why someone like Scott DePace would even get a dog. It appears that DePace, like his right-wing politics, is cruel and without empathy or compassion. I've heard that even Hitler was nice to his dog. Sadly, the same cannot be said of Scott DePace.
Yes, DePace said on the wrap-up show he would continue doing whatever he described here yesterday, and then in about a month it would work.
Yeah, and even like Jason said to me, isn't that a sign of low intelligence that, you know, you gave him some really good advice, he asked for advice, and then he just can't absorb it. He can't. The Sam Simon Foundation will be happy to rescue Scott DePace's dog and find it a loving forever home.
Oh.
Where they don't hit.
Yeah, where they don't hit. Hitting a dog, right, Fred? You've got dogs.
No, dude, you just don't do that. It's like, you know, it just makes them crazy, and it doesn't change the behavior. It just makes them afraid of you.
Right. Scott, you were busted by the audience. What is your argument on this AIG thing? Forget the dog. You respect the contracts of the executives, but you don't respect union contracts.
They're not comparable.
Why?
But, well, in the case of the car companies, my argument is that the unions are largely at fault for causing the company to fail.
That's
the
not
AIG.
true.
Hold on, that's my argument. The AIG contracts have nothing to do with AIG failing.
Well, you could blame the executives for not getting the job done properly.
It does
No,
have
but these bonuses. Did you read the op-ed that I sent you?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think of that?
There are some executives who had nothing to do with the failing of AIG, and they were promised bonuses, and now they're not getting them, and they're upset about it.
So the guy's working for nothing.
I understand that. But for the most part, you understand, in the one breath you say you have to honor contracts at AIG, but you're saying you don't have to honor union contracts.
No, I'm
can't
not
have it
saying
both
that.
ways.
I'm saying
That's
that
what
if
you
we're
said.
going to dump money into a company to make it work, you need to make sure that it's going to work from the start, or else you don't do it.
And secondly,
and in the case of the contracts, the union contracts, from what I hear, it costs $75 an hour for an American car company to make.
I've heard that figure is misleading.
And it's $45 for the foreign cars. You can't compete like that.
And secondly, Sam Simon says what you're doing is wrong. Every expert that
Tell Sam to go sit back on his mansion and just...
Every expert that is employed by the Sam Simon Foundation, and there's many, all are dog trainers, agree with me.
Have you ever spoken to a dog trainer?
I could care less, Fred. I've had dogs my whole life.
Don't ask me again for advice. Don't ask me again for advice and then ignore it.
Well, just because I got your advice doesn't mean I have to take it as gospel.
Think you should be hitting your dog?
I don't. It's not like the dog yelps when I hit her.
Oh, come on.
It's a tap on the ass, and she knows she did wrong.
And a tap on the ass isn't going to teach her anything.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
And then I throw her outside.
Not only that, she's not doesn't even understand why you're doing it.
She does.
No.
She goes on. All right, then why yell? What's the difference? Does a lion tamer not use a whip? What do you want him to just talk to the lion?
He's
a fucking lion. Well, what's the difference?
Lions eat people. Dogs are loyal pack animals.
What's the difference between a lion and a horse? Does a horse use a whip?
I saw the most.
I mean,
if you are not a dog lover after this, there is a video going around on the internet. Kid Chris sent it to me. I should send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Picture this: a dog is it's a like a homeless dog or so, or a dog that's lost, walking on a busy highway, four lanes. The dog gets hit by a car.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Miraculously, I mean, it looks like the dog's dead. It's laying there in the middle, and all the cars are just going and going. No one's stopping. Another dog sees this, runs out to help the dog, and she wants to drag the dog to the side of the road to help the dog. It doesn't use its mouth because she knows the mouth would hurt the dog. Pushes with her paws to move this dog. And this is a big dog. Pushes the dog to the other side of the street. Finally, people start to notice. And they stop cars and they try to help the dog move the dog. And it turns out both dogs are fine. And even the one that got hit is perfectly fine. Minor injuries.
Wow.
But imagine this dog is so loyal to another dog. And it tried to move the dog to safety. I mean, that's the most moving thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
You're never going to find. You're going to compare a dog to a fucking tiger?
No, I'm just saying that they're animals. At the end of the day, they're animals, and they understand.
Then do you need to mistreat them? Because
I'm not
animals?
mistreating. I'm loving that dog. I'm telling that dog how she's going to do well in my
tell
family.
her, don't hit her.
Yeah, she doesn't speak.
You can tell her. She does. They understand. They understand. What do you got, a lab?
Yeah.
A lab is as bright as a 3-year-old and can understand a vocabulary.
Actually, I think the lab might be smarter than you.
Yeah.
Fred, you know what? I question your intelligence sometimes too, pal.
Oh, come on. Fred's intelligence?
Yeah.
You think you're smarter than Fred?
Bring it on, dude.
Sure, let's take an IQ test.
Bring it on.
Let's take
No
an
way
IQ
you'll
test.
beat Fred.
I think I might. I think Fred has a great memory, but that's about it.
No, it's more than memory. The guy's got basic
Well,
intelligence.
listen, don't attack me. I'm quite intelligent.
It was a joke. It wasn't an attack.
You're also
Fred,
Should I hit you with a newspaper to see that you understand it?
What do you
You're
want
also
to go up
type A,
against
aren't
Fred
you?
and name the subject? Name it.
No, an IQ test would be fair.
IQ test?
Sure.
He'll beat you. My money's on him.
Well, let's see.
Scott, I think you're a bright guy, but you're not smart.
Let's bring it on.
Fred, you think you'll beat him in an IQ test? Any
I have
chance
no
I could lose
idea.
money here?
I'm not going to take it.
You won't?
No, because I don't like IQ tests.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, what was an IQ test for someone of our age? What does that consist of? Logic questions, like basic?
Yeah, logic, command of
Patterns.
language, patterns, spatial.
Right.
Hey, listen.
Memory?
Let me tell you
Anyway,
something.
my
Memory
dog
has a lot
loves
of
Fred, I'll tell you why Fred's smarter than you. Number one, you see him on this Win Fred's Money. The guy knows tons of shit.
It's
He's
unreal.
got great memory. Awesome.
More than memory.
Yeah, but that's knowledge.
He's got knowledge.
I'm not saying
Secondly,
he's stupid.
he
I'm
plays
just
gu-
saying I am not.
He plays an instrument. That shows me a high mathematical ability.
I was great in math.
Yeah, but can you play guitar?
No, I've never.
play any
I've never
instruments?
bothered. No.
Yeah, he's got a basic curiosity.
Can he play
that
golf?
Howard,
Can he play golf?
He doesn't play any
Can he
music.
play golf?
Any idiot can play golf.
Oh, my goodness.
Go ahead. Let's see what brilliant Gary has
He
to say.
doesn't play
now.
music because he thinks it's stupid. He said as much. He thinks
It's a
stupid.
waste of
What
time.
do you mean? What did he tell you? What do you mean it's a waste of time? What does he talk about?
He thinks that to send your kid to take music lessons when you know that they're not going to be great at it is a complete waste of time.
That's,
Then
see,
why-
Gary,
I know
that. Gary cannot even say
But
what.
then why
that's
golf
not
if you're never
what
gonna
I
be genius?
said. It's not what I said.
What'd you say,
I
Johnny?
said that I would not be one to if my child wanted to go to a college that it was all about music. I wouldn't support that.
You didn't
Why?
say
Because
college. You said you wouldn't let your kid take lessons even as a grammar school kid.
no, I wouldn't.
Yes, you
I
did.
just
You said
said that I
from the
would.
office.
I do not want to support. This thinking that you're going to get rich through music because I
Who said
realize
Rich?
what
What
a
if you
dead end
just enjoy
street.
playing music?
Yeah.
To have fun, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you start taking it serious, it's.
No, seriously, there have been studies that have been done that prove when kids take music courses and play music, it improves the right side of the brain, which is the math section, the language section.
Listen, you
it
guys
makes them better students.
go back and look at that refrigerator back there in the kitchen and see the thousands of CDs that are sitting there that people put their life and heart into, and they get nothing out
Scott,
of it.
you really
It's
sound like a
it's apples
McCarthy
and
era. Like,
oranges.
fucking,
He's not,
It's
you know,
a waste.
here's the thing. He's not being honest because he's saying
Yes, I am.
this was about, going to college. That I understand.
Right.
We had a long conversation in front of the entire office. Everyone will back me up. That if your son wanted to play an instrument, it would be okay, but you would not push your child to play an instrument now because you think that it's a dead end and that they're not going to learn anything
Understand the
from it.
difference.
Does
If he came to me and said he wanted to play, I'd say sure, go ahead, that's fine. But I'm not going to sit there and go, you need to take guitar lessons because that's the way to the future.
No, but you might
want to know
say
something. You're
that's not the
100, I'm
reason
going to
to
tell you
do
why
it.
100% wrong. My father, in fact, forced me to take piano. He didn't force me, but he said, "Look, I really think you should take piano lessons." He didn't think I was going to be the next Beatles, but he said, gee, in my life, I always wished I knew an instrument,
Me too, man.
and I always wished that.
Well, I don't. Understand these are your opinions.
That's because you have no imagination.
Knowing how to play an instrument is so much fun in life that you bond with other people through it.
I'm envious.
It's a language. It's like learning Spanish or learning something. It's something that
but
brings
you never learned
closer to
sports. Isn't that aren't you missing there?
Scott, I am, and I wish I had. That's what I'm telling you. I wasn't going to be Babe Ruth, but the fact is, I wish I had been more active in my earlier life. I have a big regret about that.
And what do you think is more important, sports or music?
Both.
Yeah, but Scott, playing piano or guitar, you could do it yourself. 80 years old.
You don't have to choose one or the other. It's called an enrichment in life.
My opinion.
Why read a book?
But he feels like
why play golf? Why?
Because it's fun. I do it for fun. I would never sit there and quit my job thinking I'm going to join the pro tour.
Do you want your kid to read literature?
Sure.
Why? He's not going to be an author.
Right. Because come on. That's
what do you mean?
Don't you think it's a quantum leap to say that because you encourage your son to take an instrument, that in 15 years he's going to throw his life away trying to follow that dream? You're just letting them play music, have fun. It opens up a whole world.
I am saying there are many other things I would choose over music that I would encourage him to do.
See,
That's at the bottom of my list.
This is where behind his back. This is where behind his back we have the conversation like maybe he's not that bright.
No, but Scott, you sound like you're anti-creativity.
Because this guy's
right. He is anti-creativity.
Let me tell you something. I'll tell you why you're not bright. I'll tell you why you're not bright, and here's the reason.
Do I have to sit here and listen to this?
People who are cavemen
because I'm so smart,
beat animals into submission. I don't need to beat anything. I don't need to hit my kid. I don't need to hit my dog. I can look at a dog and reason with a dog. That's how bright I am. See? You, on the other hand, are like a caveman. You say, I get frustrated, I'll hit the dog.
Look, I have had dogs my whole life, a lot more than you ever have.
And you've done the wrong thing.
And it's always been right. It's always been perfect. I've always had a great dog.
So how come it's not working now?
There's a proven track record, and I'm going to continue because I haven't been doing it too long. My wife made me do this stupid squirt bottle crap and listen to the guys like you. So my way will work. Don't worry about it.
It won't.
It will.
Trust me, that dog can be eating your pot roast when your back is turned.
Yeah.
That dog's not loyal to you.
So I should listen to Howard and go, no. Or whatever the hell it was.
That's a step in the right direction.
All right.
Any dog expert will back him up. No dog expert backs you up.
I don't need a dog expert.
Scott, when I was a kid, my father, we literally spent hours hitting grounders and everything.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun, but I really wish half of that time was spent on learning an instrument.
Great. What would they have done for you? I don't get it.
What do you mean, what would it have done?
You know what? It's fun. It's like your golf. It's fun.
I'll tell you what, in the profession I'm now.
I don't say you shouldn't. I'm telling you my opinion about my son. So I'm not going to push him towards music. I will push him towards golf.
Music is a very important part of life.
I agree.
And for a child to have an understanding of music theory is an advanced child. And you're giving them something. It's like swimming. You're giving them something.
Don't see it. Can you explain that? Music theory. Why?
Because you're a bore. This is one of man's greatest inventions, music. It soothes the soul.
Yeah.
It's educational.
Have you ever played an instrument, Scott?
When you play an instrument,
I took 2 drum lessons and quit.
When you play an instrument with other people.
Comment.
When you play an instrument with other people.
Fine. Have you ever?
When you see these musicians.
Howard's never played golf. He can't comment on golf.
When you see but that's something I should learn about. There's a lot of things to learn about. You got to prioritize.
Yeah.
And your priorities are out of order.
Oh, according
Golf
to you,
is not more
Mr.
important
Expert,
than music.
You're going to list my priorities?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, because you're not advanced. You're a very, very simple human being.
You teach your son to be closed-minded in that area. That's horrible.
You're
realize how wrong you are. These are opinions of yours.
No, I don't realize how wrong I am. I'm trying to help you now because you're not as advanced as I am. I'm very, very bright. I'm considered a genius in a lot of areas. So why would you assume you know what you're doing?
I'll take an IQ test against you,
Why would you assume you know more than I do?
Why would you assume you know more than I do?
Because I'm a genius.
Well, I am the genius, too.
No, you're not. You've not excelled in anything.
Okay, Howard.
You haven't.
So
I have.
You've excelled in one area. I agree. You've excelled in radio.
Well, how many areas have you excelled? How many areas have you excelled in?
Oh, man, I don't know.
So don't belittle my genius. So assume that you're at the feet of a master now.
You're a genius.
And you're learning from
in
me.
radio.
No, I'm a genius.
Not life.
They don't just say you're just a genius in radio. I'm a genius. They didn't walk around. Einstein's a genius only in math. He's a genius. When you're a genius, it's like being a doctor. You're a doctor. You're a doctor. You're a genius. You're a genius. I'm a genius. Not many people are. Well, I happen to be a genius.
Who in this room do you think you're smarter than? List it.
Everyone.
I think he thinks he's smarter than everyone. He's like
you think you're smarter than everyone in here?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Listen, I don't think you're stupid. I'm just saying.
think they're smarter than everyone.
I'm done trying to help you.
It's ridiculous.
Scott, I'm done trying.
I certainly am smart. Benji might be up there.
Scott, I'm done trying to help you. I'm officially announcing now. Others can help you if they want to.
All right, good.
Dude,
I don't need any help. I don't want any help.
It's a lost cause.
That's
How
the
many
point.
people would love to have an audience with me where I concentrate on their problems and their areas where they need improvement? Many.
Well,
And
I'm
I've
not one of
given
them,
this
I
to
guess.
you, but this gift is no longer available to you. I've
You're
tried.
on your own
I can
now.
help you, though, if you'd like.
That's okay. I don't need it. I'm evolved. You can leave.
evolved.
Thank you. All right.
I mean, if your son came to you
I
and
think
said,
the
I
only
want
way
to
he's
play
going to
the
help
guitar,
you if he removes half your brain. That's
We're
how he can
done.
help.
all
It's
right,
done.
okay.
I mean,
I just got, if your son wants to play the guitar, you're not going to say that's great. You
I
know?
said sure. I'll sign him up tomorrow for lessons. That's not the point.
All right, thank you.
The point was, am I going to
Thank
say
you.
you need to go play guitar to be a better person? No, that's not going to come from me.
No, you don't say to
gonna
be a
say
better
that.
That's
person.
what this is all about.
No, you're saying you're planning on giving your son life lessons and advice.
Yes.
One of the things you should offer to him is music lessons because it's important. You know,
I don't see
understanding music. I'll give you an example why music theory is important. My dad, it was the reason he was hung up on it. My dad decided to become a recording engineer. And as a recording engineer, he worked on many commercials. His partner, who had a musical background and could play piano and sing, actually, he became a very valuable recording engineer because whoever came in wanted a guy, they wanted to work with a fellow musician. He understood music and how to cut on the beat and all this stuff. It made him a better engineer.
All right.
My father said if I had this piece of education, if I had this information, not that he was in music, but understanding music theory would have given him the language to be a better recording engineer. And
could
so he
say that for
recognized,
everything.
well, of course. That's why my daughter's fluent in Spanish. Now, when she went out to look for work, her job now, they pay her more money because she knows Spanish. She's invaluable to them. She's interpreting
I agree.
every
Spanish
20
is great.
seconds. Only
I agree with
because
that one.
she's a good kid. There's a lot of good kids out there, but she's got a skill. So what you try to do is, as a parent, to take the skills that are golf's a skill too, and it's
Right.
good for business. You go out
Great
on the
for
golf
business.
course.
I would
your
argue
buddies,
better for business than
There's
music
something
is.
very important about an athletic background, but even more important is to give them the language of music and theory. Not that they're going to become the Beatles. Maybe they will. That's wonderful.
And
you
see,
know,
that's what I don't want.
I'll tell you my frustration.
You don't want you to
No,
become a beat?
I don't
When
want
I
them to
said-
think that they're going to be the Beatles
No.
and
He
then
doesn't
waste
want
their
them to
life,
think is what
waste
it's
their
called.
education,
That's
waste their
delusional.
time.
That's delusional.
No, that's what happens.
No,
how
it
many
doesn't.
again? How
Listen,
many records
I'll
back
give you an
there?
example.
All those guys, I guarantee you, they don't have normal
the
jobs.
late,
And if they do,
great
they're
Sam
horrible.
Kinison used to do this show. And Sam would come in, and Sam was a pretty good guitar player. Now, Sam is a stand-up comic. He would dabble in guitar. And there was nothing cooler when Sam would come in. He said to me, hey, why don't you go up on stage with me? We'll jam. Now, I could play basic guitar. I'm not any good. I wasn't as good as like Sam was. But I could get up and jam with him in this language. And it was terrific. And, even you want your sons to get laid.
Howard,
Girls
these
melt. When Fred, who is a complete, almost a sociopath, and not even able to communicate with
If
human
that's
beings.
what's gonna make a girl
he would
melt,
sit
then I
down
don't
and
want that
play.
girl
He
for
would
my
sit
daughter,
down and
for my
play.
son.
He would sit down and play guitar. I saw beautiful women melt at his feet.
It's ridiculous.
There's a man who has tremendous problems.
So there you
And
go.
you're saying you're
Your
telling me-
hero, Richard Nixon, played brilliant piano
He's not
before
my
he
hero.
trashed the country.
My hero. Reagan's my hero.
Like, as a comedian, I would love to
Another
be able to
genius.
write a funny song on guitar.
He was a genius.
That's the point. And you're a director.
Howard, you're biased.
You're a director.
You're biased. You're an entertainer.
No, well,
And
listen,
that's why you
you're in
think it's
show
all
business.
about-
You're a director. If you understood music and music theory,
Yeah,
when
I
we have
agree.
musicians in here, you'd
I
be able to
agree.
have a certain understanding of what you should be even filming.
I agree. I agree for that
Yeah.
one little part. Yeah.
It's a very important part of life.
You know what? I'll use, DePace's argument against him. Why did you invent the video caddy? Do you think the world was really waiting for another piece of useless junk?
Yeah, that's a good point.
See, that's just it. There's a perfect example that you don't play golf, so you don't understand how important
But hey,
a device like
I
that
can go down to
be.
the U.S. Patent Office. I can find thousands, millions of patents of useless inventions. So were those people stupid too to try and follow a dream?
They wasted their time.
No, that's ridiculous.
I'm using your argument with why you're against music.
No, it's not a good point. You guys are all biased because you guys are entertainers. Of course, you like to play music.
But you're not an inventor, so why invent?
But I don't. I haven't put my life savings or my every minute of my day.
Was your brother in a band? Is this what this is about?
There's part of that.
Did your brother have a band? And did it fail?
Oh, was he jealous?
Yeah, but it was just no, nothing to do with jealousy.
Was he jealous?
Yeah, I have a sister and a brother, very musically talented. It got them both nowhere. I know that for a fact.
What about the satisfaction of knowing how to play?
Well, what about the satisfaction of knowing how to, I don't know, build a house out of cards?
That's important too.
I got
there's a huge difference between a house of cards and learning to play music. It's a language.
That statement makes you sound dumb.
All right, I can hit a golf ball straight. What about that?
You think playing a house of cards is as important as music?
No, Howard.
Listen, you know what? I told you I'm a genius. I can't waste my time with you.
You should learn how to play golf because you don't understand.
Robin's right. Why is this continuing? Even Robin is saying.
Shake your head, Robin. Go ahead.
I didn't.
Robin, who learns a useless thing every other day. Horseback riding, then car racing. What else you got?
Say a word during this entire.
No, she didn't.
Stupid
so why attack her?
Why are you attacking Robin?
Because I look at her with that face, and she's back and forth with her head.
You don't know what my face meant. Why are you interpreting
I can read it.
All right, listen.
That was his face reading course that he never took.
You have stolen 10 minutes of our life.
Yes.
Oh, wait. This is Cookie on the phone. This is Scott's dog. Cookie, go ahead.
Finally, an intelligent conversation.
See?
Are you mad? Are you mad at Scott?
Don't bark, Cookie. Shh. Shut up. No.
Dog saying it hates you.
Actually,
Say
Scott
like
is probably a math.
Let me talk to Cookie. Cookie. No.
See,
she shut right up.
Scott is actually a math genius. You ran a cocaine ring, I think, for a while, right?
Yeah, a cocaine ring, Artie. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that's right. He isn't more intelligent than
Cookie.
I couldn't do that.
Cookie, bark twice if you want me to rescue you and send you to Sam Simons.
I've seen Sam's place in Malibu that he built for dogs.
Can I have one?
A lot of humans would love it.
Go ahead, Fred. Talk to Cookie.
Cookie, bark twice if you think the video caddy is the most useless invention you've ever seen.
Cookie, bark twice if you think a career in music is horrible.
That dog hates you.
I told you the dog was smart.
Cookie, are you embarrassed that your name is Cookie? Bark twice if you are. Yes. Wouldn't you like a more masculine name? Bark twice if you say yes. Yeah.
My son named her.
Hey, Cookie, when I say the name Scott, what do you think? There you go. All right.
All I can say is thank God Scott wasn't Sebastian Bach's father.
Hey, Cookie, bark twice if you want me to hit Scott with a newspaper every time he does something wrong. All right. Very good, Cookie. Thank you.
Cookie, I'll see you later.
That's Cookie the dog. All right. We'll be back right after these words. Thank you, Scott. Yeah.
I am not going to be the one going, hey, you have to take this music class. That's all I'm saying. If he says, Dad, I want to take a music class, Dad, I want to learn guitar, I said, great. Where do we sign you up? Let's go figure it out. And I would do that.
What if you want to play the flute? What if he came to you and said, Dad, I want to play the flute?
That would be something you're...
I'm just asking a question. That's what brass instrument they offer usually in 3rd or 4th grade.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's
fine.
fine.
Checking.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not so bad.
It's all my point is if my son says, I want to go to college to learn music, I'm going to say, you know what? You're going to have to find out how to pay for that one yourself. Thank you.
But you'll pay for college if you want to go for, say, politics or history.
Any of the business, history, no, that's another no-no.
What else is useless?
English, probably not, because the only thing you're going to get there is probably English maybe, but most of English jobs, I guess you would end up being like a teacher or something.
Generic art, liberal arts degree?
You can use English for anything.
I wouldn't pay a lot of money.
You can use history for anything. You can use anything for anything.
No,
in fact, most people who go to law school are political science majors, English majors, history majors.
Exactly.
Right.
I wouldn't pay for law school. Because that's a whole nother... No.
Why not? That's a great living, man.
I have 2 male boys.
So you don't let them if they wanted to be, if they were like, hey, Dad, I love hair, I love the art of hairdressing, that's what I want to pursue?
No, thanks.
Art major.
They could, I'm sure that degree probably
Podiatry? Is that okay?
Podiatry? Sure.
Art major.
Art major, no. Why would you
major.
learn something that you're not going to use at your job?
This is what my mother said. She goes, well, what are you going to do? Go work at a history firm? What are you going to do when you get out of college? You're going to go get a big job at the history? Let me tell you something.
There are some jobs with history, but not many.
No, but you're thinking too. See, this is you thinking too literally. You don't necessarily take your history degree and go become a curator at a museum. You use your intelligence and you can take it further. You can do anything you want with it.
So you're saying in this job, which is a communications job, you don't use any of your communication skills you used at college?
No,
what if you had only taken history and then ended up in this job? Wouldn't you then be worse off at this job?
Well, I can't possibly answer that.
Well, I think I can. Yeah, of course. Of course you would. And if not, then your communication degree is worthless.
It's not just history. You learn analytical thinking. You learn how to interpret facts, how to research, how to read.
That's like me learning the golf program and deciding to be a musician.
No!
No! No! I'm sorry.
You said building a house of cards.
It's just. But I obviously was trying to.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I said.
It's a bad example. But the point is,
horrible example. Tim's gonna faint.
I know people in LA who moved to Los Angeles to go to guitar school. Yeah. Fucking what a waste of time. They would sit there and fucking play and they had a stage presence class.
Why is it a waste of time? Because they don't make a career out of it?
Yeah, right. It's a great hobby to have.
This was their college. This was what they were 22. This was what they were going to do as a career. Look, if my kid says, hey, Dad, I really want to play guitar, I'm going to say, let's go buy you one right now. Absolutely. But if it's up to me to go, hey, Kyle, you're not interested in music yet. Come on, I want you to start taking classes.
What if he does that? What if he has some aptitude and wants to pursue it? What are you going to do? Like, at what point do you kill the dream?
At the point where it starts getting in the way of what he needs for the rest of his life, his education. When he says to me, I want to go to a music college, I go, work at it. Find your own way. I'm not paying for it.
Oh, that is so. Who are you, Bing Crosby, for Christ's sakes?
The point is, I would not support paying for something that I didn't feel was a smart decision.
You're going to let
you're not going to let any of your past influences affect what your daughter might want to do. If she says, I want to go, Dad, I want to put everything I've got into making a new type of a Barbie doll. Are you going to say, okay, let's go ahead?
I wouldn't do it blindly, but if she was good at it and she had the skills, and I would loan her the money to do it. I wouldn't give it to her, but I'd loan it to her.
What if when Duke turns 18, your young son Duke turns 18?
Kyle.
Who's Duke?
Duke's the dog who died.
His late dog.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Make sure there's butter on it.
We got someone here?
Yeah, we got Michael Jackson here.
No, really.
A guy who wrote a book about my Michael Jackson. We're gonna bring him in.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm very nervous. I can't get those words out, man. I'm having a stroke.
Relax. Don't joke about that. You're getting to that age. Ian, good morning.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
So what brings you down to the show today?
Just coming to talk about my book.
Your book. It's about the late Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And what'd you write about exactly?
I wrote about the last few years of his life. I went undercover in his camp, posed as a hairdresser, and to get the story behind the story of Michael.
So you have a lot of dirt, I guess?
Well, yeah, I have a lot of stuff. It's balanced, and it's in-depth, and it's the story that no one else has ever revealed before, and it's very important that all Michael's fans, his detractors, read the book to really get the proper story of what went down.
You just want everyone to know the truth?
Yeah, that's, I think Michael wants everyone to know the truth, and he wanted this book to come out.
And you feel Howard is a good platform for this?
We're going to find out.
We are. All right, man. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next is Ian Halpern. I don't know if you've been reading about it. He was working on a book about Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And the book, actually, the premise was that he, after the second child molestation charges and that trial, he wanted to really look into whether or not Michael Jackson was a child molester because he kind of felt, that he was.
Right.
And when he started to investigate, he really felt that he came to the conclusion Michael Jackson was not a child molester.
What is Michael Jackson,
Ian?
or what was Michael Jackson?
Ian, by the way, welcome to the show. Your book is getting a lot of press now. It was kind of actually lucky that Michael Jackson died. It makes it even more important, right?
Well, timing's everything in life. It's number 2 today, and maybe we'll get to number 1. But, I set out to nail Michael Jackson. I'm an investigative undercover journalist.
How'd you get started in that?
Are you undercover right now?
Yeah, you're wearing dark glasses.
It's, here. We'll see where we go.
Keep your glasses on.
Yeah, that's it.
You're undercover as a secret
happened,
agent.
Yes.
First of all, when Michael was acquitted in 2005...
How'd you get to be a top-notch reporter? Like, where did you work, and how do you become an investigative
Howard,
reporter?
I've been doing this 20-odd years. It's not like I've just arrived in town here. I've been around the block.
It's not an attack. He's asking for your credentials.
I'm trying to tell my audience what your credentials are.
Howard, I'm the only guy to infiltrate the Church of Scientology. I posed undercover as a gay actor in the church. They let me in to film everything. I told them I wanted to be cured of my alleged homosexuality.
Right.
And they let me in for months. I told them my uncle he invented. I said he had all kinds of dough, and he was going to invest $50 to $100 million as a tax write-off.
And you wrote a book about that,
yes,
right?
Yes,
okay.
I did.
So you've been writing books and investigating different situations. Michael Jackson became interesting to you because here there was this big trial. Nobody really knew if he was a child molester or not. I always felt...
Because we never really got a trial.
Like you, I always felt he was because I said... What kind of adult male sleeps with children? And I've heard the whole thing about he didn't have a childhood and all that. Wow. I didn't have a childhood, much of a one, and I'm not sleeping with any kids. So why would you then believe he wasn't a child molester? What made you believe he wasn't?
Well, first of all, let's backtrack.
Okay. All right.
Michael's acquitted in 2005. I think we have another O.J. Simpson running around.
Right.
And, I'm out to nail him. I said, enough's enough. California, they seem to miss every celebrity case. And I said, I'm going to prove that this guy is guilty.
Right.
So I set out on this odyssey, thousands of interviews, secret court documents, everything I accessed. 4 years later, I conclude unwaveringly, this guy never molested children.
So what do you think was going on? That he didn't molest children, but it was weird that he,
Why did he keep getting these accusations?
Yeah, the classic profile of a pedophile is one that, like a guy who doesn't have a lot of money will usually go to a neighborhood, get himself a video game, set up his house like an arcade, get the local neighborhood kids to come over and play. And in a sense, to me, Neverland always looked like one big, giant, expensive arcade with a carousel and all that stuff. It looked like the classic pedophile profile. True?
Yeah, but you can never judge a book by its cover here. The fact is, Michael Jackson never had a proper childhood. Joe Jackson beat the crap out of him. You could ask his high school principal. By all accounts, Joe Jackson, he was a scumbag to Michael. And Michael Jackson...
I believe you're right. I mean, Joe Jackson was just interviewed the other day. In fact, I was going to play this tape before you came in. I didn't get to it. But he was saying how, I never beat Michael Jackson. Once in a while I had to discipline him, but the mother, Catherine, beat him way more than I did.
Oh, now it's her fault.
And he seems to be very focused on getting word out there that he really is responsible for Michael's talent, that if it wasn't for him, he molded Michael. He made him the big superstar, all that kind of stuff. So Joe Jackson does not seem like a guy with his head screwed on straight.
You're absolutely right there. And, all these people are coming out of the woodwork now and rushing to Michael's defense when he's dead. They're digging up his skeleton. Where were these people all these months when Michael was, all these years? Michael's had drug addictions, all kinds of financial problems. You see LaToya Jackson selling her story. On one hand, she's saying, I couldn't get access to Michael. They wouldn't let us anywhere near him, his handlers.
during the last months of his life. On the other hand, she just sells a story to News of the World as if she's the closest person to Michael. So, there's a lot of conflicting stories.
Because Joe Jackson keeps saying, too, I had a perfectly good relationship with my son. His handlers, his security people they treat him like Howard Hughes. They wouldn't let me near him. Now, everyone knows if Michael Jackson is paying security people, he's telling them who to keep out.
Yeah.
And in fact, his security people have said, no, Michael Jackson says to us, keep my dad away from me.
Right.
That's what he wanted.
And there's a good reason why he wanted his old man away from him. But getting back to what you're saying about Neverland.
What is the reason he wanted his old man? Well, didn't his old man always come up with cockamamie, like, hey, here, some guy give me $300,000, I want you to do this? He always wanted something,
his
right?
His old man was, an extortionist. That's all he wants. Michael was dough. He really didn't. He says he loved Michael, but the fact is he burned Michael repeatedly. Michael didn't trust him, and Michael was ashamed of how Joe raised him. He didn't give him a proper childhood, and that's what you're saying now about Neverland. Yeah, it looks, if you look at it, it looks like a perfect operation to run some pedophile ring, but he wasn't. Michael Jackson loved children. He only felt comfortable with children to communicate with, put trust in them. He brought them, let's face it here, he brought cancer patients, impoverished kids. Michael Jackson wanted to bring people together in this world, and he used Neverland as the medium.
So when people see that you wrote this book, the rap was, oh, you were out to get him. You actually...
Dude,
kind of cleared him. You vindicated him.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Jackson is not a child molester. Howard, let's go back to 1993, Jordan Chandler case.
Okay.
I dug up an official court document that says the insurance company forced Michael to settle. They demanded that he settle. Michael Jackson broke down in tears. He maintained his innocence. And he insisted that he didn't want to settle, but the insurance company forced him to settle. Now, in my book, I detail this case. First of all, Jordan Chandler, he said that Jackson was circumcised. He said that Jackson had blotches, spots on his penis and the area. There was a raid on Neverland.
Right.
The cops descended on Jackson's house. This was the most demeaning moment of Jackson's life. He had to strip down.
Right.
And be photographed.
Was he in fact circumcised?
No.
He was uncircumcised.
Not, uncut.
So in
Jordan
other words,
Chandler's story didn't match.
I hadn't. You're bringing up some interesting points. I hadn't considered that it's true. When a guy like Michael Jackson has insurance, the insurance company can get very panicky and go ahead and settle a case without you.
That's right.
I didn't realize that. That is a good piece of evidence. Now, I didn't know that when the cops stripped Jackson, that the kid didn't describe the penis properly either.
That's
right.
Well,
we never got to know that.
Howard. It's all in the book. Now let's go to 2005.
Yeah.
In any court of law, our Vizio case is not going forward. If Sneddon and all these investigators would have done due diligence, first of all, look at the principals involved. They had history of extortion attempts. These were not the most credible people to bring charges forward.
Right.
I once met the late, great Johnny Cochran in Toronto. I'm from Canada.
Yep.
It took a Canadian to crack this story, I think, because all the U.S. journalists, for some reason, they were sitting on their ass pretty. So I came here and wanted to crack this story. But Johnny Cochran I met in Toronto years ago, and he told me, he said, I asked him about the OJ case. He said, we didn't win the OJ case. The prosecution lost it. He said, never trust LAPD or the California. The 2005 case was tried in Santa Barbara. He told me, never trust them, because when it comes to dealing with celebrity cases, and you're going to see this now, Howard, when the autopsies comes out and there's so many directions the Jackson case could go in now. First of all, Debbie Rowe, I think I hope she's listening today, because Debbie Rowe should be ashamed of herself.
Why?
Any mother who's pawning off her kids, I'm a father.
Right.
And it's unacceptable.
How much would it cost to get your kids?
For $12 million, I might give you a few of my kids.
No, I ain't giving my kid up.
Right.
You could offer me all the dough in the world.
Of course, and any parent would feel that way.
And $13 million.
But wait a second. Now let's talk about that. All right, go ahead,
Howard.
Yeah.
One more thing. Now you have this battle between Roe, the Jackson family. You have two undesirables. These are three precious kids. Michael was a doting father. Incredible dad.
Did you
by all
meet
accounts.
the kids? Did you have any access to the kids, actually?
I infiltrated the camp. I met Jackson one-on-one.
Yeah?
I've seen the kids in crowds. I haven't interviewed them.
What did you think when Jackson hung blanket off a balcony? That was bizarre.
He was stoned. He was high on drugs.
Right.
You know,
that can't be a good father.
That's not a good father.
Well, when you're high like that, you don't know what you're doing. You got to look at the culprit, which are the doctors that are giving him these drugs. Arnold Klein, I've said all along, he's got to be held accountable. He's the ringleader.
Yeah,
then we got to go to all the...
This is I don't know who you're talking about. But
That's the dermatologist.
Yeah,
that's the
who
dermatologist.
they thought might have fathered the two kids, maybe.
Yeah.
And do you know who the father of those kids are? Did you get into that?
Well, first of all,
or the mother.
The biological father here and mother doesn't matter. There's only one parent for the kids. It's Michael Jackson.
Right. Debbie Rowe was more of an incubator. In other words, it wasn't her egg, and it wasn't Michael Jackson's sperm. So those kids were not biologically his. He became their father through...
But this was a business move for Michael.
Right.
He wanted to do it that way, with all due respect to him. I mean, the man's dead, but he was an incredible father. These kids are going to grow up.
But what did you think?
Only acknowledging Michael as their parent.
Yes, but why? What did you think? You certainly must have thought it was bizarre that Michael Jackson would walk around in public with these kids. I know he was afraid of them being kidnapped, this and that, the other thing. But putting the masks over their face, putting the things over their face, certainly a bizarre thing to put that kind of paranoia into
and
a
keeping
kid.
them away from everybody else.
And also they didn't. Apparently, they don't even. They hardly know any other children. They haven't been schooled in a traditional sense.
Well, you're talking about the world's most famous person here, Michael Jackson. There's only maybe two people who could walk on this earth, and they can't walk anywhere without being recognized. It's probably Jackson and Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And the fact is, Michael wanted to protect his kids, shield them from all these paparazzi, everyone.
Okay.
And it makes sense. He was an incredible parent, responsible. He homeschooled them for a great part himself.
Is that true?
Well, what did he know?
Right. I mean.
Well, hold on.
I wouldn't give him too much.
Here's how to moonwalk.
He schooled him in Oxycontin.
No, Michael Jackson is a highly educated person. I mean, he's one of the artists. He has studied everyone, from Michelangelo to all the... You asked Michael Jackson about music.
Yeah, but could he teach somebody to read and write?
Geometry.
And do arithmetic and
Michael
all of that
Jackson
stuff, history.
Was a very literate person, well-read. This is a student of art and life, and he wanted to do things his own way. He wanted to take his kids, which he did, and travel after he was acquitted in 2005, and give them a global view, a global education. He traveled to Bahrain, to Ireland. Yes,
in your new book, you even state, and this is kind of odd to me, he was sitting and talking to his daughter, according to something in your book, his daughter Paris.
Yeah.
And he said to her, listen, honey, I don't think I'm going to be alive much longer, and I don't think I'm even going to make it to next Father's Day. Now,
that's
this
not
is
something you say to a kid.
You don't say that to. That's a very scary thing to say to a kid. I know if my mother said to me, "Listen, I don't think I'm going to go upstairs and go kill myself," or that's scary to a kid to say to them, "I'm never going to make it past Father's Day." That can't be a good father. True. I mean, you've got to be critical of that.
Well, look, he's just calling a spade a spade. On December 24th, 2008. I said Michael Jackson had 6 months to live.
Yeah, now you're getting a lot of press for having predicted that.
Why did you say that?
Yeah, why did you say that? Because you knew of the drug use?
Two sources in his camp contacted me about a month before.
Okay.
They felt they were outnumbered by all the handlers around Jackson. They were concerned for his health and well-being.
Because of his drug use?
Because of the drug use, because of a lung disease that he purportedly had called Alpha-1. I always said he could lift 100 with Alpha-1. It's potentially fatal lung disease.
Mm-hmm.
I said he could maybe die of a flu beforehand. The media never mentioned that. But after I made my prediction, I did due diligence. I got some private medical records. I interviewed more people. Michael Jackson was a candidate, perfect candidate to die at any second. Now,
because of his lung illness and the combination of drugs.
Anorexia.
Right. He was down to 125
Which
pounds.
I said in the book before he died, one of the most common side effects of anorexia is cardiac arrest.
Yeah, this book was going to come out regardless. I mean, obviously, this was not being saved for his illness or death. It was a book that was in the process. Did Michael Jackson know the book was coming out?
Absolutely.
Was he pro the book or against the book?
Well, once he learned that the book was sympathetic and that I was going to vindicate him of the child molestation charges, he was supportive. But when I made the prediction, Howard, December 24th, 2008, in a 2-page spread in In Touch magazine, the next day, his sole spokesperson came out and said, this is a complete fabrication. And this is what went down. Instead of taking the charges seriously,
right,
and getting him into a hospital, getting him, not the doctors, you know, those 5 scumbags that have been treating him and being enablers for him for so long.
There was more denials than rather accepting what you were saying and saying maybe we should get the guy help.
They were trying to do damage control right away. They should have got him into a hospital. Instead, now they're planning a comeback tour, 50 dates. Not even a rock star who's in perfect shape in their 20s or 30s would do this easily. And Michael Jackson, with all his illnesses they want to put on the world stage, it's all about money and greed.
Well, you mentioned one illness. You said he had this lung disease, and then he was, I guess, a drug taker. What other, the anorexia? Was there something else?
Then there's the mental. The physical is one part. And
you say in your book that he, at an early age, was diagnosed as a schizophrenic?
Yes, it's not me saying this. It's other people in the Jackson camp
I believe
saying
that. I could believe that. It's almost. Do you think that's why he changed?
Schizophrenics have hallucinations, and you know they don't not quite in touch with reality. You're saying he was like that?
Yeah, he had a personality disorder from a young age.
Did he have full mental breaks?
Yes.
He did.
And
he hallucinated?
Yes. Joe Jackson turned a blind eye to this. He was just concerned about putting Michael on the world stage, making as much money as possible. And that's what I'm saying right now. There's this battle for these 3 precious children. I urge California's child welfare to intervene immediately.
And give the kids to who?
Who should the children go to?
That's the question. I don't think either party is suitable. On one hand, you have a woman who wants to pawn these kids off for millions of dollars. On the other hand, you have a family that, hey, they have dollar signs in their eyes. They think they have the next Michael Jackson on their hands.
Well, did you see the paper
exploit.
today? On the front page of the Post today, they say that Debbie Rowe, there's some sort of email going around, that a private email that she had with a quote-unquote friend,
right,
that basically she said, hell no, I don't want these kids. I'm not looking for these kids. I know it'll look good, though. It'll look good if I at least say I want the kids. So she clearly doesn't want the kids. She's always made it clear she doesn't. They imply that there was some sort of payoff of $4 million. So clearly, now
should
Catherine,
Diana Ross get the kids? That's the way Michael wants.
Diana Ross doesn't want kids. I mean, she's an old woman. What's she looking for?
She has enough kids.
That's right.
But you know, Joe Jackson wants the kids because now he's saying he wants to put them on tour, sign them to recording contracts.
Can you believe that?
He has his new Michael Jackson.
Can you believe that he would say that?
Sure, I can believe that because the day after Michael died, he went on TV and said he's starting a record label.
All right.
And the first act he wants to sign right now, he's calling the Jackson 3.
It is that's amazing chutzpah to put that out there right after your son dies, isn't it?
Yeah, Joe Jackson is an opportunist. I urge California child welfare to intervene immediately and get these kids out of that situation.
Who should have these kids? Do you know of anyone that is close to Michael Jackson that should the
All right,
nanny?
I'm stepping forward.
Robin will
take
take
the
him.
kids.
I like that blanket myself, although I cut his hair.
One of your cats is going to die soon, right?
Why was the blanket looks? I was surprised. You know what I thought was great? After he died, I kind of felt that the kids were saved in a way. They no longer had to walk around with these robes over their head. And they were on TV. And what was the big deal? They were like 3 normal kids.
They were actually meeting some family members.
Yeah, I mean, they actually got to voice themselves publicly and sort of behave normally.
Howard, Michael wouldn't have approved of the way that memorial went down.
Right.
Michael wanted to keep his kids out of the spotlight.
Right.
And bring them up, give them a good education. And from right away, Michael dies, and what does the family do? They go against his wishes and expose the kids to the world.
What do you? I know you bring this up in your book, and I think you're dead on this topic. I always have said to Robin, I believe Michael Jackson, the reason for his unhappiness is that he was a closeted homosexual. In other words, he's a gay man who was tremendously embarrassed by being gay.
I agree with that.
Particularly,
he was raised a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
I think it's, verboten in that religion. And
Particularly,
so it's not something that was
I know in the black
easily
community,
accepted in that family.
as homophobic as the white community is, in the black community, it is so homophobic.
But it wasn't like Jackson was in the black community.
Well, when he grew up, he was. He was in a black family. So
That's what I'm talking about, that his family situation made it so impossible.
I felt he was really a gay man who just could not, he wanted to appear to have a girlfriend or a wife, Lisa Marie Presley, this, that, or the other thing. What's your take on that? I know you have a lot of feelings.
Well, first of all, regarding this is a big question here. Lisa Marie Presley.
Right.
In the book, I say the marriage was arranged by the Church of Scientology. When I infiltrated the church, posing as a gay actor, that's where I started hearing all the rumors of Jackson. This is before Tom Cruise came along as the de facto leader of the Church of Scientology.
Right.
They had their eyes on Michael Jackson, the world's most famous entertainer, to come into the church. If they would be able to lure Jackson into the church, they'd be able to attract millions of people worldwide based on his celebrity. Now, they used Lisa Marie to get to Michael Jackson. Lisa Marie's a devout Scientologist.
But don't you, are you claiming that they went to Lisa Marie and said, look, Lisa, take one for the team and marry Michael Jackson? Do you think it was that?
I'm not claiming it. People in the church are claiming it. Again, I'm just a journalist documenting everything.
Do you think she loved him at all, or was it strictly for the love of the church?
From what I hear, even though she said in an interview, she said she had sex with Michael Jackson, from what I hear, the reason why they split is because she was not happy with what was going on in the bedroom.
But why would she go along with this plan? I mean, listen, even if you love your religion, why would it be so important to Lisa Marie Presley? Is she I've had Lisa Marie Presley on this show, and she looked me in the eye and she said, you know what, I really love Michael Jackson. Didn't work out. I mean, it was obvious they weren't sexual with one another. I mean, when they kissed, it looked awkward on MTV.
Well, she, did claim that she bought the fact that he was into her hook, line, and sinker.
But why would she put herself through a loveless marriage for the Church of Scientology? How could she love the Church of Scientology that much? She doesn't seem that irrational.
Well, look at Tom Cruise.
Right.
Look at the way the church has been so successful in getting A-list celebrities on board.
Sure.
And, let's face it. Do you think Tom Cruise, what do you think about him? Do you think all his relationships have been legit? There's been all kinds of rumors about him.
Those were rumors, and I don't think it's fair to bring him into this because, as far as I know, he's a married guy and he's a straight guy.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, but he is a guy there's been rumors about.
Right,
yeah,
but that ain't fair.
Right.
So,
that's
but
all
from
they
what
are
I've
is
heard
rumors.
regarding the Lisa Marie Presley, and it's outlined in the book, Howard, that members of the church pressured Lisa Marie to marry Michael Jackson.
So she marries Michael Jackson. She realizes at some point that this is a guy who's not interested in sex. You claim that Michael was acting on his homosexuality, that he had homosexual affairs. You have found actual men who have had homosexual adult sex with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Right? That's the big bombshell.
Don't forget, my project originally started as a film.
Okay.
I have over 300 hours of footage, everything documented. So that's the way I do. I did the world's
Did you document the interviews with these guys who had sex with? Oh, you did?
I did the world's first YouTube compatible book. And, I always release the book first, and then people start criticizing and denying, and then I start releasing videos and making them look foolish.
So you could show that you're telling the truth.
Exactly.
So you have it documented.
And, and all the
what do these gay guys say?
All right. First of all, let me tell you how I got onto the Jackson gay angle.
Okay.
I heard rumors from his mother, Catherine Jackson, who said that she thought Michael was a fag.
Didn't she, in fact, according to your book, call Michael Jackson a fag?
That's right.
To his face?
Yes.
How do you know that?
This comes on very good source in the camp, and it's been documented. So, hey, Catherine Jackson, I didn't see the smoking gun here. I mean, anyone could call anybody anything.
Right.
But I decided to look further into the allegations. I found 8 men who claimed they slept with Jackson after months and months of research. I only went with 3 for one reason. I demanded extreme corroboration because I knew if I came out with these claims, people were going to,
You claim in the book Michael Jackson is a bottom. He takes it in the ass rather than give it in the ass. Am I correct?
Well, that's what I'm not claiming.
A bottom.
This is what.
Well, what did these three men have as proof that made you know that they were legitimate?
They fucked them.
They had a load on their chest.
They had video.
No, but wait a second.
Photos?
Yes.
Photos.
I said that Michael Jackson dressed up as a woman in disguise whenever he'd meet secretly with these people.
But he was always dressed up like a woman.
But what you're claiming is he would dress up even more femininely. In other words,
he looked like a woman.
He looked like a woman.
Yeah.
And in
just
fact,
so he could get out of the house and unrecognizable.
So he would go to a hotel or wherever he'd go.
Well, in Vegas, he went to this rundown motel off the strip, infested with cockroaches, rats, and he had this relationship with a construction worker.
Ooh.
Now, how I document this, I met with all the parties. I demanded timeline, photos, witnesses.
You did it like a murder investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and these guys claim that he liked it in the ass, and also he would dress as a woman, and that once in a while he would give blowjobs.
Yeah.
And he would say, "The king of pop is licking your lollipop."
That was his
Right?
line.
That's
nice.
That's what went down. Apparently, he loved to do that.
is
And that's
licking your lollipop.
but the problem with
That's a
Michael
dream.
Jackson, everyone's asking me why he never came out now.
Right.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Right away, he thought if he came out being gay, that everyone would think he was also a pedophile.
Right.
They would. The other thing that he's always said, it's easier for a Caucasian entertainer. He was always a bit envious of George Michael, who was convicted, Elton John, Boy George, because they were able to come out scot-free. But if
Freddie Mercury was out.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
he made no secret of the fact he was gay.
But African Americans,
a tougher road.
and there was a good book last year that I read, Howard. It was called Hiding in Hip Hop by
Right.
this writer Terrence Dean, and he documented why a lot of hip hop stars. He said a lot of them are gay.
Who was the famous celebrity who told Michael Jackson, if you come out of the closet, your career will be over? You say, I know you mentioned someone told him that in your book, right?
Yes.
Who was it?
It's early here, but
yeah. I can't remember.
Well, several people told him that, though.
Yeah, I'm referring to a story I read in your book, but I'm not sure I have it right.
Because of the race.
Yeah.
Because of the race factor, Michael was always worried. And Michael always said there's a lot of African Americans in the closet. If they come out, it's suicide for their careers.
How was he able to keep his homosexuality, these liaisons, quiet? I mean, did he pay these guys off? Was he able?
Did he have any long-term relationships, or is it always just,
hit and run?
Hit and run.
Confidentiality agreements. Anyone who came in within 5 feet of Michael were forced to sign confidentiality agreements. He was very tight security. He wanted to protect his kids, himself, and
but he never
wanted to
fell
be very
in love.
private.
He never.
He did fall in love.
Oh yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
with the construction worker.
With the first guy, the actor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he made love to an actor.
Yes,
a famous actor?
No. An up and coming.
Well,
actor.
he will be now.
Michael liked men 18 to 23, 24 years old.
I was going to ask you,
that was his demographic.
These guys you were they super buff, good-looking guys,
What was he into?
ultra muscular, like my Fred or someone like
the
that?
construction worker. The construction worker. I mean, he looked like
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, he was really toned. The construction worker.
Oh, right.
And he was half Asian.
Oh.
The actor. He just looked. I didn't see.
Did they get into any kind of kinky sex? I mean, you mentioned that Michael liked to take it in the ass. Was there anything kinky going on?
Well,
I mean, that's pretty kinky.
Aside of the women's clothing, and
I mean, that's kinky enough for me.
Licking your lollipop.
Is it true he slept with a lot of the Mets?
No. Only a rumor.
Apparently, they said the king of pop this is what Michael said, liked to lick the lollipop, and that's how he got off.
When you say these things about Scientology and you came out with a book and stuff, have you ever been sued by the church? I know that they can be aggressive about suing people who make these kinds of claims.
They signed the release.
They did.
But, my life was threatened numerous times I'm not saying by the church itself, but definitely by members of the church. Had to go in hiding last year, but that's all part of the business. I could take my hits.
How does Michael Jackson meet a construction worker and have sex with him? It's got to be difficult. He's, as you say, probably out of two people in the world, the most famous person in the world. How does he meet a construction worker? Where does this go down?
Well, he was living in Las Vegas in 2007, and he started roaming around. He didn't want to just live in the house, and he'd get out there and meet some people. With the waiter, he met him at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He says he fell in love with him from the get-go, and the next night they were in a hotel together.
No kidding. Wow. Well, let me tell you something. This is wild.
These are amazing.
Well, Ian's
claims.
book is out. You know, it's a funny thing about Ian's book. I was reading Cindy Adams' column today, and she was kind of like saying, oh, here's another, kind of guy who's coming out and writing a book who's going to be a bottom feeder and feed off Michael Jackson. First of all, you defended Michael Jackson for the most part in the book.
Second of all, you were writing it before he died.
Yeah. And then
you
secondly,
worked on it for a long time, and he was alive.
And
nobody knew he was going to die.
And thirdly, Cindy Adams then repeats everything in the book. Like, oh, here, I'm going to put this down, but meanwhile, here's everything that he says in the book. So, you think this is going to be a bestseller?
Hey, it's number 2 right now. Glenn Beck's number 1.
Right.
And I hope this show's going to, because I worked so hard on this book.
How many years?
You said 5 years.
5 years of research.
What do you
5 years
do while
of
you're
research.
working on a book for 5 years? Does somebody pay you for working on this book for 5 years?
Yeah, how do you make a living?
How do I make a living? I've
years.
done this drill 12 to, this is my 12th book.
Right.
And, sometimes you got to max out your credit cards and when you're doing a film because it's a tight business. But I just stand by.
Do you get an advance?
Yeah, you get an advance, but
not enough to hold you over for 5 years.
Exactly. The advance usually runs dry, and then you got to take a risk. If you believe me, I've always put my money where my mouth is. And
does your wife work?
No, you mean my ex-wife?
Oh, your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Did the book cause the divorce in a sense? Are you such a workaholic?
I'm tight with my ex. We have keys to each other's homes. We're great parents together. We're all on the same page.
What went wrong?
What went wrong?
Yeah. Let's write the book on that.
Hey, we had sex the day we split. It was still good. But, we're both artists, and, we just have a lot of respect. We raise a child together, and that's why I'm saying, as far as the kids go, I talk from a parent's view because parenting's my number one thing in life.
Yeah.
And what's going to go down here, the lawyers have demanded the Jackson family. They said, hey, you better settle with Roe quickly. We don't want some high-profiled custody case here getting out of hand. We have a lot of other stuff on our plate right now.
Right. So what do you think is going to happen with the kids? I guess the mother is going to get them, right? Catherine Jackson.
Well, 79-year-old woman raising these kids. It's a bit of an oddball
Would you take the kids if the court offers them to you? Because you are an authority on Michael Jackson?
Absolutely. I would
you will take them?
Absolutely.
You will raise little blanket in Prince
and
Michael in Paris.
I'll raise them in Canada. And no, seriously, the court's got to intervene here and find a proper.
But who could it be?
Octomom.
Give the kids to Octomom. What about Janet Jackson? She seems like she might be. She might be the most level-headed out of all them.
Well, actually, the kids, my sources say.
I mean, listen. Who do you prefer, Tito? Jermaine? I mean, come on.
Not Tito.
Give them to Rebe.
Rebe Jackson, I go for.
Give her some attention first.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Howard.
who would it be?
My sources say Janet Jackson right now in the house has the closest bond to the kids.
Right. It looked that way. They were hugging her on stage, Aunt Janet.
Now, she's never had kids before.
And she's also the one who's the biggest star in the family.